It's me and Dr. V. There he is there. We're live. We're happy to see you on Wednesday, 5 o'clock, our normal time. Joe likes our thumbnails, but asks me why don't I have members of the other sex in there sometimes. I said, because Joe, you and I are males. It's hard.
Yeah, so, but you have to mix it up.
We're going to mix up. We may put our faces in there one day. We'll be lucky if we get one person.
We're open to all genders.
We're open. There's only two, Joe. Joe. There's two. I'm not going to get in a fight with you here. I don't know how there could be three or 2.5. There's two. You could mix and match, but it's two. Okay. You ready to go? Here we go, Joe.
Yep.
Yesterday, we talked about the wave, and it was major. Last night when Joe and I were on, everybody was just kind of shaking their heads and they couldn't believe it. But let's go through why it was such a smashing victory for the Democrats. And it was a smash. First of all, all we're hearing already are Republican excuses, except for Trump, who pretty much admitted that, hey, it's our fault we lost, okay? Everybody else is saying, like the Speaker of the House is going, this always happens in the off year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count. And then you have the others on Fox last night, like crazy going, Hannity and all of them. Well, everybody's left New Jersey and they all moved down to Florida.
I know. Yeah.
Because of that, there are no voters there. And I sit there and I listen to this and I go, let's be upfront about what's going on, okay? Everybody thought New Jersey was going to be 3 to 5 points. Everybody thought New Jersey, hey, Spartacus, everybody thought New Jersey was going to be 3 to 5 points. Everybody thought it was going to be close. It was, 13 points? You can't be happy with that if you're a Republican. That's a smash. Look at Virginia, it was 13 points again. That's a smash. The Attorney General, the guy who sent out those texts, sick text messages, he won. That's a smash. In Georgia, there were 2 seats were up for the Public Service Commission. Always Republican, 2 Democrats won. That's a smash. In Connecticut, they overhauled a lot of the local town. I don't know what their legislative groups are, but their little town area, their town counties or whatever, county councils. Major changes there in Connecticut. That's a smash. You look at this and you go, people have to wake up and say, you really lost. And when you go, I really lost. What did you lose by? What did you lose for? Let's talk about what is the most important issue. You've been hearing it on TV the last night. They keep using the word affordability. But if you've been listening to Just an American Citizen with me and Dr. V, you will know we've been talking about this literally for 4 or 5 months. The economy stinks. The economy is great for rich people. So when you look at the data, and the data says the economy's rocking, the economy's rocking for people who are doing great. And there are chunks of people who are doing great, but they're doing more than great. They're doing super fantastic. The problem you got is all the people who are moving between Democrat and Republican candidates are those who need money. They're having trouble keeping their jobs or losing their jobs, can't get food, can't get insurance, have families, and those people are sitting there going, I don't care what data you throw at me. I know that I'm in a food line. These are facts to these people. This is data. I know I'm in a food line that extends for a quarter of a mile. In America, we have food lines, Joe. We've been talking about this for months that extend for a quarter of a mile now, okay? So these people go, I can't vote for the people who are in there, and it's not good out here, and prices go up, and you see 3%, and people go, what's 3%? Forgetting it compounds every year 3%, which becomes 6% more and more. The problem is it's a lot for people who don't have the money in the first place. It's a lot for people who are paying on their Visa cards and may have just lost their job or are working for the federal government and aren't getting paid. and are still working and have to do Uber work. This is legitimate stuff that's going on. And when you see this going on, it's obvious that's the major number one issue. And they're pushing affordability, the word affordability out there. To me, as I've been saying to Joe, Joe's been yelling at me, but Joe sees it now. It's emotion. People feel it in their guts. That's what's running this country. It's what people feel in their guts. And when they saw Trump come in and they thought that Biden had lost it and they couldn't use him as a president and couldn't trust Kamala Harris because they didn't know her, they went with the bro attack and all those people, and Trump won. Okay? But now people are sitting back. This is another reason why they got smashed yesterday. So first you have the affordability. Number two, look at what he's doing to people in the streets of America, Joe. You have armed men and women wearing masks and picking up people like thugs, picking them up, locking them up, a lot of them Americans, putting those Americans in jail, making them sit there for days at a time, Americans. And they sit there and we're paying hundreds of millions of dollars to build up this national police force called ICE by the president. Now, let's get it straight. Let's be upfront and honest. Trump has done a great job on the border. Trump shut down the border. You can't say anything else about that. It had to stop. Hopefully, we get a whole immigration program. We always talk about that, but we'll get that to another time. Trump shut down the border, Joe. Now, he said he's going to get rid of all the bad criminals. Well, there don't seem to be that many of them around because all he's throwing out are people who've been here 20 and 30 years who have kids, many of which those kids have served or are serving in the armed forces of the United States of America, who are paying taxes, who are paying FICA Social Security, getting nothing of it back, and they're getting thrown out. And not only are they getting thrown out, they're getting beaten up. They're getting beaten up by these guys who put on masks. The only person, I keep saying it, the only good masked man was the Lone Ranger. And these guys are not the Lone Ranger, okay? I'm looking for the Lone Ranger and Tonto. I wish they were around right now because they wouldn't put up with it. Silver would get in the middle of everybody. So the problem is, so you have that. So I'm sorry. So you have an affordability issue. Joe loves the word, and it's a great word. I agree with them. You have people, immigration, which is no longer an issue. It's solved. Now the issue is how many more Americans and people who may not be Americans, but you're beating on them and beating them up and throwing them on the ground. I think yesterday there was a video, and we're going to look this up, Joe. Maybe you want to look this up. Supposedly it happened in Chicago yesterday or today, where ICE broke in to a private daycare and arrested a child care worker and took away one of the children and put him in a car. You think you could find that, Joe, if you could Google it?
So Chicago ICE.
So ICE breaking into private daycare. Okay, look at all. Hopefully Joe finds this and arrests child care worker and takes child. You'll see it if it's there. But you have ICE just doing this stuff. They're digging. They're going deeper into what are they doing? Taking these people and beating them up and then just breaking into private places. Do you see anything where it says they're breaking in anywhere into private industries? You know they're going up and talking. They went into the LA Dodgers. They go into the LA Dodgers parking lot and try to pick people up wherever they go. Joe, were you able to find that?
I think so. Here we go.
Joe, tell us.
So I have a nice picture for you. Let me show you the picture.
And tell us what's behind the picture. What does it say before we give them the picture?
Let me show you the picture first.
Okay, let's get the picture. What's this a picture of, Joe?
This is after they broke into the child care. Immigration arrest of Chicago daycare worker at drop-off time for kids sparks outcry.
What happened, Joe? Put it out there.
Okay, so let's see the story. November 5th. 2 agents from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, detained child care worker at the Registro del Sol Spanish Immigration Early Learning Center in Chicago during the morning drop-off. Worker was alleged to be undocumented, though parents and school officials say she had legal authorization. Agents entered the facility while children and families were present.
Stop, Joe. Stop. It says without a warrant, right?
They did not present a warrant.
Agents entered the facility. Now, listen to us. This is what's going on in America. Agents entered a child care facility with kids, a private child care facility with kids in there, and without a warrant. And they entered, they went in, and what did they do? They took the kids, they took a worker. What did they do? An arrest unfolded in front in the full view of staff, parents.
Yeah, so they traumatized the kids and arrested somebody.
How great is that?
So there you go.
That's another reason why Trump and the Republicans lost yesterday. And not lost, but got smashed. And, whether you agree or not, I'm just talking politics. When you've got this going on, thank you, Joe. When you got this going on, and you got affordability happening, and you got the Republicans saying, I've got every excuse for losing. It doesn't matter. You got a group of people who are really in trouble. Now let's take it a step further. Why else would people be mad, Joe? Maybe because of all these memes that Trump puts out there. The MAGAs have been getting crazy, in your face, yelling. How about the one when Trump was in the jet dropping manure all over people during the No Kings March? Millions of Americans, like it was a joke, wearing his little crown. How about Trump walking around, not Trump, having his right-hand guy walking around like the Grim Reaper because he was going to take out people. You don't think Americans are getting upset about this? You don't think Americans are going, what is going on with our country? So you look at all this. You got these situations where you got bad affordability. You've got Republican excuses for losing. You got everybody saying, well, it can't be real because it's data, but Biden economics was data and Biden got handled. You got a marble bathroom being built while people are in line a quarter of a mile for food. You got the president of the United States building a marble bathroom in the White House and proud of it and showing it to everybody and then having a great Gatsby party that night. Spending money while Americans are in line. Not only that, and I haven't even hit the healthcare. The numbers that are coming in, you started a month ago, started throwing the numbers at us, Joe. Major numbers. How can they afford healthcare if they can't afford food? How can they afford healthcare if nothing's there? It's really bad. And then on top of that, there's no culture wars anymore. I think the Republicans are fighting yesterday's wars. You can't fight immigration anymore. You won. You can't fight the culture war anymore. You won. Transsexual issues aren't issues anymore. It just isn't because they won, right? So you don't hear these issues. You don't hear about books getting pulled out of the library because they won. So when you see all this, they can't argue any more cultural issues, the Republicans. It's not going to get people worked up because it's over. They won. But when people are talking about, I have emotion because I can't eat, I can't afford insurance for health, I can't do anything but maybe breathe and sleep and hope I don't get put out on the street. That's why they got smashed yesterday. Absolutely smashed. And if they don't accept it, then let the hubris continue. Joe, take it from here.
Well, yeah, I think the two major issues are the economy, and people feel that life is not affordable in this country. That I think the median age for buying a new house in the United States now is 40. Used to be young couples could buy a house, could start a family, could start, quote, living the American dream. And now, they can't afford to do that. They have huge debts from college tuition loans that they have. They don't have enough money to put down payment on a new house. And so they delay buying a house. They delay starting a family. People can't afford groceries. They're too expensive. People can't afford health care. I was talking to some people who said that their premiums are going up to $2,000 a month. When your medical premiums are higher than your mortgage payment, something is wrong. Something's wrong. And these are insurance programs that have high deductibles. So God forbid they get sick, they still have to pay out of pocket, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Who can afford $24,000 a year just to pay for healthcare insurance? And I don't know. Hopefully, there's some people listening to us today who I'd like to hear, what people think about this, how people feel about this. And, if we're not quoting the data accurately, let us know. If you feel differently about this, let us know. But, usually we have people in the Mosh Pit who are presenting what a good job the current administration is doing. But I really don't hear that today. Now,
Hey, Joe, just 1 second while you're saying, because I see Stoic has put some stuff up here in the Mosh Pit. Stoic, I'm happy you put it up there, but you're trying to be like sarcastic. Let's get it straight, okay? Number one, the ICE went into a private business, basically walked right in, could kick in the door. I don't know if they kicked in the door or what they did. They went into a private business, like walking into your house, kicking in the door without a warrant. That is not, oh my word, that is breaking the law. That is government taking control and just doing whatever it wishes to do. And if it did it to them, they'll do it to you. And then what's the media make it up? We got pictures of it. And does the media make it up that the Democrats smashed the Republicans yesterday?
Do you want to see a picture again? Should we put the picture back up?
Stoke doesn't want to see the picture because he doesn't want the truth. All I'm asking
let's look at the picture.
Slacker, show us where we're wrong. Instead of making allegations, show us where we're wrong. We have all these people taking allegations, giving us allegations. Here's the picture again. Go for it. There it is. Slacker.
Here's the place that they went into.
Slacker will say it's Hispanic. He doesn't like it. But as they walked in there, they broke the law.
Oh, here they are breaking in. What data do you need? What other data do you need?
Oh, man, but it's okay. It's okay. The poor kids will have PTSD, Joe. That's what he's saying here. So here he goes. It's just kind of sad. It's just a sad situation, but it is. But the bottom line is this is why they're losing. And this is why they don't want to talk about it. And this is why nobody wants to deal with it, because all of a sudden the MAGAs who are in your face, who are telling you what a great job Trump's doing, just disappear when they lose. That makes sense. It's all devolution. Everybody's going backwards in time. They can't deal with what reality is. They can't deal with the truth. The truth is they lost. And what happens? They scatter to the bushes. Ooh, it's really kind of a sad situation because I want them. Come on back. I don't know why they're afraid of us, Joe. They lost. Why are you afraid when you lose? What is that in psychiatry?
Well, this is what I'm thinking, that a lot of times bullies are able to get away with being a bully because of their reputation, okay? But once somebody stands up to them and punches them in the nose, then you see the bullies are, fraidy cats themselves. They don't want to fight anybody. They want to intimidate people, but when push comes to shove, they really don't have what it takes to stand up for what they so-called believe in. And I wonder if that's what's going to happen to the current administration, that as people are beginning to stand up to him, how's he going to respond to it? And you see cracks already that people are beginning to say, no, enough. At Penn, they were offered a special deal, and they said, no, we're not going to take this deal.
I think Virginia took it, didn't they?
Maybe Virginia took it, but universities are beginning to stand up a little bit.
Some people
You see some of the people that he's attacking. Who is it? The special prosecutor said, come on after me. I dare you.
Well, you lose because when the federal government's after you, you got to pay big money for lawyers. You got to do a whole bunch of stuff. You lose on that alone. And believe me, never say it, Joe. If government comes to you and says, I'm coming after you, you call your buddy first before you say anything. And then I say, this is what you say. Please let us know what your problem is. We're more than glad to talk to you. And don't talk to my client because my client's going to tell you, come on, and I don't want you to come on.
Okay, all right.
Let's get that straight.
Let's get that straight.
That's we got to get that straight.
Well, what's the special prosecutor that they want to go after?
They just say everything these guys did were illegal. Now they're trying to look back into 2000. I'm sorry, into 2024 to see that the fake out there. I'm sorry, 2020 when he lost, and he had something to do with the storming of the Capitol, and he wants to do a big investigation into that because supposedly all these senators' phones were tapped. I don't know. All I know is if you look at the videos, they stormed the Capitol, and Trump did nothing. So what are you looking into? But that's the problem, that people see this, they're feeling it, and they're wondering, why do we have a president that only wants to like certain people, and if you don't like what he wants, he's going to screw you as hard as he can. He said it. If you don't vote the way I want you to vote, I'm going to hit you. For example, New York, Mayor Mamdani. He said, now they lost, I'm going to cut off their money. Well, that's a great reason to be president. And I'll tell you this, today the Supreme Court, it surprised me. Now, during the hearing on tariffs, and at least what he's trying to use as his basis to do tariffs across the board, to do whatever he wants, which gives him, he says, the power to do it. And the other side says, no, sorry, Congress has the power, the purse, because one thing the president forgets is he's not Article 1, he's Article 2. Just like people always forget that gun rights are Article 2, not Article 1. So there's one thing that's always more important: free speech, liberty, media, religion. That comes before guns. And Congress comes before the president. So they were asking some great questions today, and I was really surprised. Now, of course, you have Alito rolling over like he always does. Remember with Alito, Justice Alito, he's the one who took the American flag and turned it upside down over his house and blamed his wife. And that's like the surrender or help me flag. So Supreme Court justice doing that. He rolls whatever the president wants, he does. Thomas sure sounded the same way. Kavanaugh, I'm not sure about. He came down. Gorsuch went both ways, but I think Gorsuch has real questions about this. I think the Chief Justice does too. And then, of course, you had Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson. I think there's a really good chance that that this not go through, that they set it aside, Joe. I really think so. I'm really starting to think that. And I was surprised about it.
Yeah. So, again, you're seeing cracks. The people are beginning to stand up.
Well, and they haven't stood up yet. They're just sitting there and asking questions, but they were asking really tough questions. Basically, if you think you can just do this, then if a new administration comes in and says that energy conservation is an emergency or climate change is an emergency, do they then have the right to just tariff everybody around the world based on that? And I think the president's lawyer, the Solicitor General, said yes.
Wow.
I think he said that. I'm trying to remember, Joe. I couldn't believe it. I really think he said that. So you wonder, it's like, I think they're starting to listen a little bit. There's going to be a lot more cases coming up, but this will be coming up by the end of the year at least. So it's going to be pretty crazy with all this. I just sit there and I'm just listening. It's, I don't know, Joe. I think Justice Barrett's against it too. So I was listening. So who wants to let the president have power? So if you have Justice Barrett, you got Justice Gorsuch, who I will put in the list. You have Justices Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson. You got 5. Kavanaugh to say the president doesn't have this type of tariff power, where he can basically rip off the right to just hit. Remember, he hit Brazil, who had no tariff. They have no deficit with us. They send up. We send more. Sorry, we have no deficit with them. Okay, we send more to them than they send us. But he hit them with tariffs because he didn't like their politics with Bolsonaro. Right. So that's not it. So I think the court is starting to look at it. Are they the supine court? We'll find out. But I think you have 5 there, and then the question's going to be where Kavanaugh drops in. I think they lose on this. Their only concern is, and this will hit the economy, what do you do with all the cash if you say it's unconstitutional to do this.
Mm.
So you have hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, right? And at the same time, every day we're collecting more money. And then who's the money going to be sent back to? Are they going to be sending it back to corporations? And how much do corporations hit the people with that they're going to have to send money back to people? It's going to be very interesting. If that happens, what happens to inflation? What happens that we're going to have to, where are we going to get the cash to put that money back? I mean, it's like we have to take all that cash and throw it back at everybody. So I think it's happening, Joe. It sounded today like the Supreme Court's willing to say you can't do it. You can't just say, I don't like this. What they're doing is they're trying to blame Richard Nixon for this. Because Nixon, there was a law that was put in to limit Nixon. Nixon did it for a specific amount of time. I think he did 10%. There was some issues going on, but that's it. But if you're going to limit it, you say there's X amount because we're having a real economic issue with that country and it's for a specific time. That's fine. The problem is here, we can just come in and say, oh, there's an emergency. Just like there's an emergency down in South America, and we can just blow up every boat we feel like blowing up.
I thought Congress had war powers. They're the only ones who declare war.
Foreign policy is run by the president's the commander in chief. The only one who can, the only group that can declare war is Congress. But when is the last time they've done it? They didn't do it in Vietnam. You had the Tonkin Bay Resolution there. They didn't do it in Cambodia. They didn't do it in Laos. They didn't do it when we had the Bolivia or whatever, the Sandinistas down there when Reagan was doing his thing. We're killing everybody. We didn't have it with ISIS. We didn't have it in Iraq. We didn't have it anywhere. We just haven't since World War II. So Congress can declare war, but the president's commander-in-chief, and the president runs foreign policy. And that's where the problem comes in, because the president says, this is foreign policy. I am using this money, these tariffs, because we are being screwed by these other countries. And therefore, as president, as commander-in-chief, I'm declaring an emergency and saying under this IEA, or whatever the name of the bill is, the program, I have the right to now tariff anybody I want to tariff without Congress's input. That's where we are right now. So the question is, how much power does the president have? I think they got to be worried. I'm telling you, I'm looking at it's Justice Barrett, Roberts, Gorsuch, Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson. That's 6. Kavanaugh, I don't trust. Alito will do whatever Trump wants, and Thomas will do whatever Trump wants. They don't even care. They ask the questions they ask are like, oh, why are we even here? So they have that. So I'm calling that. What do you think? Do you have anything to say about that? No?
It's encouraging. I'm just saying I'm encouraged, and maybe there's cracks in the dam, and people are going to stand up and hold the current administration accountable.
Well, hopefully the Supreme Court stands up. They normally don't talk about anything outside of what the law is, and this is the way I feel about the Supreme Court. But today, like Justice Barrett said, this is a mess.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen to money? You don't hear the justices talk about that. You heard Justice Gorsuch ask those questions about, well, if it's okay here, what's going to happen here? And what's that going to lead to? They never asked political questions like that. But it's good. They're opening up. They're seeing it. We have so much more. So I'm feeling better, a little bit better about it, Joe. I'm feeling a little bit better because these guys got to be seeing that the way you get your tariffs reduced is that you give Donald Trump a golden crown when he goes to South Korea, or you give him a golf club when he goes to Japan, and maybe you'll get your stuff reduced then. Or, of course, what you can't touch is the pardon power. You take care of his family and pump cash into his family. You are pardoned ASAP.
Yeah.
So all the people are seeing all this. I really believe it. And see the East Wing and see this attitude. You look at all this and you're going, this guy is a king. And the people don't care because the people get mad because they go, where are our congressmen? They're out sunning themselves by the pool, taking their money, taking their health care, having the greatest time in the world and doing absolutely nothing. Nothing. And what's the president doing? He's getting on Air Force One. He's flying around the world because he wants a trophy. The man wants a peace trophy. Will somebody give this guy a peace trophy? I think I know where the one's coming from. There's the FIFA peace trophy. You know, the soccer, now they're going to have the FIFA peace trophy I saw.
There you go.
Who's going to get that? I'm making a bet now. See if we can get it on predict.com. Guess who I think for sure is going to get a FIFA peace trophy? You think the president will get a FIFA peace trophy? I got to figure he's going to get a FIFA peace. Can we do that on predict.com, Joe?
I don't think it's on Predict yet. I'll have to
You
check.
don't think it's on Predict? I think that's a guaranteed winner. So that's what's going on. He should be focused on America. Congress should be focused on America. They should be talking to each other, should be getting it done. They're not, they don't care. And we got to get the word out. And people have to start getting angry, but they don't have to get that angry because when you win elections, you really get people's attention. And now we got to be still in the streets, non-violently protesting, being on TV, being everywhere, letting people know what you think and not backing down. Not backing down. Let's go listen to Stoic. Thank you, Stoic. Stoic, send us out to people. Tell some of your friends about us. Get us out there. Whether you like, I think you do like us. Tell us what you think and tell your friends to watch us. Robert Alexander, what does 32 mean, Joe?
I don't know. It's I found a new one. It's called a 41. You know how there's 6'6"?
6'7".
Well, there's a new one. What the kids were telling me on Halloween was that there's a new one called 41, which has its own movement like that.
It's like this?
Yeah, something like that.
So
41.
7 here.
This is 6'7",
here.
and 41 is like this.
Well, let me tell you what I told the kids when they came here for Halloween because we had so much candy. Don't give me your hands. Let me see the bags. And I was just throwing the candy.
Man, we
candy man.
We went through like 3 giant bags.
Well, you got more kids, and we have this one group that come by, and I just buy it for them. And then you get these little hands. They can't hold many. I just give you those bags. I just threw it in there.
Yeah, we were running out.
Well, you want to? Why? You going to eat it all?
No. I don't mind running out, but we're going to run out early. So I limit them to two pieces, and then eventually just one piece. So I didn't run out.
What if you had half a bag left? What would you have done?
Then I'd pass it out.
No, if they weren't there, they left, and you had half a bag left. What would you have done?
Bring it to work.
You wouldn't eat it?
Some of them.
Oh, you need some.
The ones I like, but it's usually what's left is like the crappy candy.
What you watch out? You're right. That's why I only get good candy for the kids. It's got to say milk chocolate. I only get the candy that says, because a lot of it doesn't say milk chocolate anymore. I know we're awful in tangents. I'm sorry, guys. A lot of them don't.
That's going to kill us for this. But.
That's too bad. A lot of them don't say milk chocolate anymore. People should look at this. If you look at your candies, a lot of the candies are, if you like milk chocolate, it'll say chocolatey. It'll say chocolate, but it won't say milk chocolate because they're reducing the chocolate amount in there and putting in substitutes. So people should look at that. And I made sure those kids only got milk chocolate, Joe.
I don't know. We got these giant bags at Costco, whatever was in the bags.
What is it? Is it chocolate or is it what?
No, it's Milky Ways and things like that.
Those
Snicker bars, that has to be good.
They're great. I think they're still milk chocolate. I love Milky Ways. I always love paydays. I would eat the outside of the payday, then I eat the nuts, then I get right to the middle, the nougat, and just Oh, I love that. Oh, Joe, I love that. And let me tell you, not only that, here we go. We got not only that, Joe. We got somebody. Stokes from New Zealand.
I'll be darned.
Race to the shop. Come on, baby. You're with us, my friend. These are cranberry nut bars. They're okay. I like them. Nuts are banned in schools. Let me tell you.
Cranberry nut bars. That must be a New Zealand thing.
Yeah, because around here, they make all the kids eat peanuts now when they're young, so they build up their peanut.
There's less peanut allergies if you eat peanuts when you're a baby.
We went the wrong way and said you couldn't. We had all these kids who couldn't eat peanuts and got sick. And now they got smart and did it. And while you eat all that stuff, what you should do is listen to a group called Captain Beyond, their first album. You don't need their other albums. Captain Beyond, Joe. This was another album. Joe didn't listen to it.
No, this is deep stack.
Meet the Brothers. Meet the Brothers.
This is deep here.
This is deep. It's called Captain Beyond. It's great, but a great album. It's one of these albums you just listen to. It's like one song after the other, after the other, after the other. No breaks. You just rock, and it just leads. You have Bobby Caldwell. You had Ron Evans, who was lead singer for Deep Purple. You had Rhino from, where was it? He'll come to me. Lee Dorman, who was the bass player for
Ian Anderson.
For Iron Butterfly. These guys were great. And this album, Captain Beyond, is one of my favorites. And this is one of the originals, Joe. You look up Ian Anderson.
Deep Purple. Let me see.
No, Deep Purple. Deep Purple had different lead singers.
Here it is, Gillian. Ian Gillian.
Yeah.
Was the lead singer. He was on Jesus Christ Superstar.
Do me a favor. While Joe, I don't want to make Joe look bad, everybody. So
Ian Gillian,
look
1969.
Up Rod Evans and say, was Rod Evans ever the lead singer for
Short-term vocalist included Rod Evans.
There you go.
I'm sorry, the original singer before Gillian.
That's what. Thank you.
All I remember was Ian Gillian.
That's what you remember, the classic Deep Purple.
Deep Purple, right.
The Water and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Great album, which to me, they were great then, was Within Rock, which was their greatest album of all time. When I was in like 11th grade and I could never take it off the record player, my mother was banging on the door going, turn it off! Turn it off! I think it was 11th or 12th grade, just banging. What a great album. Because I was screaming with Ian. He could just lay Child in Time. What a great song. That album is one of these straight up real metal, straight ahead rock albums. Richie Blackmore was on fire in that album. Do me a favor, Joe. Just look up quickly Rhino, Rhino, who he's the lead guitarist for. I can't remember. He was big time too. So while Joe's looking that up, Captain Beyond, first album. It starts with Dancing Madly Backwards, ends with Can't Feel Nothing, and you can't, because this album just makes you rock so hard that by the end you're numb. Can't feel nothing. Da-da-da-da-da. Joe, who did Rhino play for?
The metal band Rhino?
Yeah, no, he's a lead guitarist.
Ew.
The lead guitarist.
Lead guitarist was
Rhino was a good band.
Ryan Rhino Rhodes.
Right. Where did he play for?
Studio work.
Who?
Not tied to a major touring act.
Oh, you're so wrong. He's been wrong. Here we go again.
He's the Ryan. That's what it says here.
Okay. I love this. Joe, talk a little while I'm doing this. I'm very worried about Joe. Who did Rhino?
So anyway, if somebody asks, who's the lead singer for Deep Purple? Most people would say Ian Gillian.
Right, because that's the classic Deep Purple.
And he was the lead. I think he was in Jesus Christ Superstar.
He may have been, you know who else was? The guy from, that was the guy from Sebastian Bach. I think it was Sebastian Bach.
Let me see.
I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe that you guys are seeing how we live. We just go on tangents. Rhino.
Here it is. Ian Gillian, the lead singer of Deep Purple, played Jesus Christ in the original 1970 concept album of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Right. So Rhino played with Iron Butterfly after the guy left, and he was the lead guitarist with Iron Butterfly after the original. Then he went with Lee Dorman and started Captain Beyond. So that's what I was focused on there. Okay. Sebastian Bach was in what show?
If you want to hear powerful rock vocals, listen to Gethsemane on Jesus Christ Superstar. Okay, that is one of the most beautiful vocal renditions you'll ever hear. And get the one by Ian Gillian.
What are you talking about now?
One of the most beautiful vocal renditions of a song is by Ian Gillian,
What song is it?
performing Gethsemane from Jesus Christ Superstar.
I like
Listen to it, you'll thank me.
he has a voice that's stretched from the bottom up. Forget Jesus Christ Superstar. Listen to In Rock. Listen to In Rock. I'm going to bring that album up next time. That's the album for Deep Purple. That was their first as the classic Deep Purple we know now. They went through 3 iterations. They had different names for each iteration. But for the classic group that we know now, it was In Rock is where it started. And if you listen, you've never listened to it, have you? Meet the Brothers. Listen to me. Listen to A Child in Time. Listen to Ian Gillian in Child in Time. You've never heard anything like it.
That was good.
Beyond good.
He's great. He's a great vocalist.
Crank it up. Everybody left us. That's okay. We're talking music. Crank it up, baby. Either way, we love you, Spartacus. This is it right here. Tangents. Stoic. Yeah, we do tangents sometimes, Stoic. Why not? John Edwards. John Edwards ran for president. Fathered a child but denied it. And then did his thing from there. And he went from being the guy they thought was going to be president and then lost it. Remember that woman? And she was running around. They were paying her to hide the kid, or she was showing the kid. I don't remember what it was. That was a long time ago. John Edwards, Democratic candidate for vice president. And then he wanted to run as president, and then he had it handed to him. Really good looking. Nuts are banned at schools. Yeah, they probably are. So, Joe, are you going to listen to In Rock?
Yes, I'll listen to In Rock.
Listen to Child in Time.
I will listen to that. But listen to Gethsemane.
I'll listen to you.
Do me a favor.
You will go so. Jesus Christ Superstar is a great album. I got the album. Maybe I'll bring it up to show you. I've been to it. I liked it.
That was good.
Isn't it all wasted time? That's Skid Row. Okay, I'll leave you alone with that. We love you guys. Spartacus, we're going to see you and everyone else. We'll see you all on Sunday unless something bad happens. It could, and we'll jump in before then. But Sunday at 11, and listen to Captain Beyond. Joe, promise me you'll listen to this album.
I'll put it on now.
He's a liar. So, but I want him to hear Child in Time, so he'll come back in like he listened to Tom Jones and the Wicked Picket and came back and told me how
That
great.
was good. That was a good recommendation.
He knows if I'm pushing it, I'm pushing it. Child in Time, Joe. Turn it up. Lock the door. Close your eyes and listen to Child in Time and tell me if Ian Gillian never sounded any better. Okay? You going to do that? What are you
Look it up right now.
Okay. If you're square, we ain't there. Psychedelic Shack, that's where it's at. My girl, and I ain't too proud to beg, Joe. And that's the way it is.
Period.